All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakwadash. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and double honors to the elders at Great Millstone. This lesson is entitled, When the Negroes, Jacob the Negroes ruled Europe. Okay, Jacob the Negroes ruled Europe for 1,000 years. Okay, all right. The Lord blessed two nations, all right, with governing the earth, okay, all right, and that he would track in this Bible, all right, Genesis 27 and verses, we'll go to verse 27. The two boys were Esau and Jacob, all right, and he blessed them to rule the earth, okay, all right, and these were the blessings that were handed out, okay. Jacob supplanted Esau for the blessing and received the firstborn rights. Okay. All right. Genesis 27 and verses, we'll start at verses 26. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord has blessed. Therefore the Most High give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let the people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curses thee, and blessed be he that blesses thee. Okay, so Jacob was given the blessing of rulership, dominion of the earth, fatness of the earth, all right, and the bowing down of the other nations, of all the nations to him, and his brethren, okay, Lord over his brethren, okay, all right, which will be the 12 tribes of Israel, okay, all right. This blessing was passed down from Esau to Jacob, from the firstborn Esau to Jacob. But this is what blessing Esau received, okay, all right, after being supplanted, or he deceived his father Isaac, all right. But it was predestined by the Most High that he should receive the blessing, because Esau was set up to be the wicked on the earth, okay? All right, and if you don't already know, the Jacob represents the Negroes, Native Americans, and Hispanics, and Esau represents the so-called white man and his seed line, all right, his family lines, okay? All right, Genesis 27 and 38, all right? And it reads, this is what Esau was receiving. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing? My father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. So Esau would inherit the earth and the dominion of the earth when he conquered his brother Jacob. Okay, he would gain dominion of the earth. Let me read that again. And by thy sword, okay, he would gain dominion by the sword of war. He would have a blessing of the sword. Shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Okay, so this yoke was broken in Europe at the final time. This yoke was broken in Europe, okay? And let's go ahead and take a look at this in the book of Revelations. All right. Before I play this video here, to give you understanding. All right. Revelation chapter 20. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold onto the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. This was Esau, Edom, the Roman Empire. The dragon was the Roman Empire. Okay. And the devil being Esau, Edom. Okay. All right. The nation of Esau, the Edomites. Okay. All right. And they were in rule as the Romans. All right. In Europe. Okay. And in 300 AD, somewhere around there, way before then, but during 300 AD, they were taken over. All right. The Negroes began to start ruling Europe. Okay. All right. This is what this is symbolizing. And cast him into the bottomless pit. Cast Esau, Edom. All right. Into the bottomless pit. Okay. Because there's no resources in Europe. Okay. This is the reason why it's stated this way. There's no resources there. And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. This is a people. Okay. It is Esau, Edom, the Edomites. And they went down in 300 AD, and the Negroes began ruling. Okay. And they will be loosed a little season. Okay. When they came out of the 1,000-year period, let's just go there. Verse 7. All right. The 1,000-year seal that was put on them by the Most High. All right. And they fell. Right. But they came back into power after the 1,000 years of rulership by the Negroes. All right. They were ruling in the Roman Empire and around Europe. Okay. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of prison. Okay. This is symbolizing the Edomites, the so-called white man, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. They did this by iconoclasm. They started painting over the images of the people that were dark, that were ruling in the land of Europe. They came up with Jesus Christ. All right. Okay. And they knew that he was a Negro, okay, from the tribe of Judah, but they made him into a so-called white man and representative of Cesare Borgia. All right. The son of the Pope. Okay. They did this anyway and began deceiving the world, the nations. That's who did this. The so-called Edomites. They came over, and what did they do after that? They began conquering Jacob, just as the scriptures say. They began conquering Jacob. Right? So, this is what happened. They began conquering Jacob. And so, let's look at the video when they conquered Jacob. This is what these Edomites are stating. All right.
Black men ruled Europe for 800 years. Part of that empire to exist today. It's called Andalusia. And it truly has some of the most magnificent architecture in the world. It's true. So I suppose you just let... I say nothing different. So I suppose you just let black men marry white women? Well, they do so in France, and it has caused no calamities. You can marry outside your race in France? Well, the south of France was ruled by black men at one time, as was Spain and Italy. Black men ruled Europe for 800 years. Part of that empire to exist today. It's called Andalusia, and it truly has some of the most magnificent architecture in the world.
So as you can see, that's what they're telling you. They're telling you what happened. Revelation 20 is a true account, okay, of what happened, all right, that the so-called Negroes were ruling Europe for 1,000 years, okay, all right. They were ruling Europe for 1,000 years, okay. We'll read verses 3 again. And cast them into the bottomless pit. The Lord did this, put a seal upon them. He pretty much ended their rulership as the ruling class people in the Roman Empire, right? And so forth, right? The Lord did this and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal on him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. So he came back into power again after the 1,000-year period in the 1300s. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of prison. That's them, the Edomites, so-called white man, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. Okay. Gog and Magog. Gog and Magog is Russia. Russia dwells in the land of Magog. Okay. Gog is Russia and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. So the Lord is going to bring forth World War III for the final battle, okay, against them. All right. To bring them and root them completely out of rulership. All right. So let me show you some images here that proves this point. Okay. Let me play the video one more time though.
And marry white women. I see nothing different. So I suppose you just let black men marry white women? Well, they do so in France, and it has caused no calamities. You can marry outside your race in France. Well, the south of France was ruled by black men at one time, as was Spain and Italy. Black men ruled Europe for 800 years. Part of that empire still exists today. It's called Andalusia, and it truly has some of the most magnificent architecture in the world.
So you see that? It's a true account. All right, so let's look at some of the images of the Negroes of Europe back in the ancient world. Okay. All right, this is right here is Carlos Quinta. This is King Charles V of the Holy Roman Empire. Okay. This right here is Charles of France. Okay. Okay. All right, he's a ruler in France. I'm not sure what his title was. This right here is a Saint Simon. All right. He was of the noble family of Paris. I guess that's France too. Louis de Rouvroy, Duke of Saint Simon. All right. All right. Who is this? This is King Philip of Spain, 1527 to 1598. So-called Negro. All right. This is just an image that I saw. One of these images that depict them as kings over there in Europe. And this is I'm not sure, it's a knight. I remember who this was, but I can't remember. But anyway, just another image to show you that Negroes were ruling over in for 1,000 years, just as the Bible states, as you can see right here. All right. And this is what they call it, I forgot what they call this, but anyway, the crest. This is one of the crests of the Negroes. All right, they were ruling during that time. So I thought I would just point that out, that Jacob, they broke the yoke off of Jacob's neck in the 1300s. All right. This had been playing out since we had fell as the sons of God from King Solomon. All right. We went and kept going into captivity. All right. And we rose we would rise back up into power, and then the Lord would send a nation against us when we went off. Okay, the Babylonians had us in captivity, Persians and the Medes, that would be your so-called Iranians over there, and then the Greeks and the Romans, all right, the so-called white man, all right, and he finally broke the yoke off of our neck over there in Europe, all right, by taking down the nobility of Europe, okay, and putting us in captivity to this very day. So the Bible's a true book, okay, all right. Jacob will rule in the end, okay, all right. We're living in Esau's time period, okay. I guess I end with this final scripture here. Esau is ruling the planet Earth, and it reads, 2nd Esdras 6 and verses 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of times, or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. With that I say,